Hey everyone, this is Mukesh Otwani once again from learnhyphenoption.com. Today in this video, we are going to talk about how you can perform data-driven test using TestRigor. Now, if you're watching this video for the first time and if you are not aware of what is TestRigor, then I would highly recommend you to watch my previous videos because this is an ongoing series. And in the previous videos, we discussed a lot of things about TestRigor. So how to automate web applications, how to automate APIs, how to automate mobile applications, that too without writing a single line of code. So those who are completely new to TestRigor is generative AI based test automation tool, which will help you to automate your any kind of scenarios, web API, mobile, desktop, even mainframe without writing a code. You just need to use their AI capabilities and it can automate applications for you. Either you can use their prompt or high level statements, or you can write steps one by one in plain English. So today I will show you how you can perform DDT, which is data driven test using TestRigor. And I will be taking one example where I will create multiple users. I will show you the application and the use cases. So if you don't have an account, create an account. And once you create your account, you can start creating your test suite and test cases. So if I go back to my home page, so previously we have created so many test suites, right? So this is the test suite which I will be referring. And here what we did, we actually created one test where you can create one end-to-end user. So if I show you this particular test case, this is what we did. And if I quickly show you quick edit, this is what we have written. So what exactly this test case is doing? So we are using this application. What it does, it will open this particular web application. It will click on new user. It will create a new account and it will also verify the user has been created or not. So basically all the steps that we have written, like click new user, check button should be disabled, enter all the details, click on sign up and verify the page should contain sign up successfully. We're also adding one check that sign up button should not be disabled once we enter all the fields. And this is exactly same thing I have taught in the previous video. So I will give all the videos link in the description of this video. So if you are watching for the first time, you might have to go back, see how we have done earlier. And today we will see how we can create 10 users, 100 users, or even 1000 users by just changing a small steps in the previous test cases. Okay. If you need this as well, I can also give you in the comment. So you can directly copy paste and continue with this application. So before we execute the actual test, let me quickly show you the previous test. So if I click on retest, it will actually start my test that we have written earlier. So it will again go through all the steps. It will load the URL. It will perform all the steps. It will perform all the validations. And at the end, we will also get the result. So if I see this, yes, it started. Now it will perform all the steps. Right now it is running on Ubuntu Chrome, but you can also run on Windows. You can also run on Mac. So it is completing all the steps, and yes, within few seconds it completed the complete test. So it started with this loading URL, then it performed click operation on new user, then it filled all the details, right? And then it is selecting all the fields, drop downs, and then it clicked on sign up button and it also verified. So once verification is done, you can say it got success. Now the same scenario which I did for one user, I want to do for 10, 100 or maybe 1000 scenarios. So before we do that, let's quickly see those who are completely new to what is DDT or data driven test. Now this is our current situation where we have our test and this test is running with one set of data. Now what DDT says that when you want to execute your test multiple times with different set of data, we call it a data driven test, a test which is driven by data. So in that case, you don't have to change your test. What you will do a linkage. You will parameterize your test in such a way that one by one, it will take data from your data set. Now this data set can be row wise or you can directly use CSV in TestRigor. So how it will work? As you can see, number of rows will become number of tests except for the first row. For example, I have this one of the sample CSV file. So the first row will be columns, right? You will have column 1, column 2, column 3, and these columns you will be used for mapping. Remaining rows you will use for data, and number of rows will become number of tests. So basically, let's say in this example I have 3 rows. So my test will run 3 times. How it will start, it will go ahead and pick the first row. It will take these 3 arguments and it will complete my test. Once that is done, it will move to the second row. It will again take these 3 arguments. It will execute this test. In the same way, it will continue with third row, fourth row, and so on. So in this example, our test will run 3 times, and if all success, it will mark them pass, otherwise fail. So let's see how we can do that. So basically, this is our test case that we have written so far, right? Now, in order to create a new test, either I can create a copy of this, or what I will do, in order to show you from scratch, I will take the existing one and I will parameterize this with 2 arguments. So if I add a new test case, I will say create a new user using DDT, and I will use the steps that I have written. So what it is doing, it is actually using this TestRigor and it is entering into name field. Then it is generating email and it is entering into this email field. Then it is entering password and so on. So what I will do, instead of taking this manually, I will take this from dataset. Now how we do this in TestRigor? Now in order to take values from parameters, you will use this English statement called enter stored value and the variable name. And then you can put exactly where you want to enter. In a similar way, if I want to read email, so I will say enter stored value. This is my parameter, which is basically a variable, and I want to type into email field. So I will use the same, I will use this. So instead of saying enter TestRigor into name, I will say enter stored value first name into name. Now this variable I will show you how to create. So we don't need this. Similarly, this statement number 4, we are generating a unique email and then we are entering, right? So instead of generating new one, I will be creating a new variable called email, and then I will assign into this field. So I will basically, whatever values we'll get from this variable will assign into email field, which is basically this one. Now, as of now, if you directly say add and run, it will directly start. And right now we don't have these variables, right? So what you can do, on the left hand side, you will find something called test data. Click on it. And now you can create either global variables or you can use data set. So I will divide this video into 2 parts. Part 1, I will show you how to create rows manually. And part 2, I will take the data from CSV file. So you can see this add button, click on add, and it says generate a data set from where exactly you want to take data. You can have multiple data set. So let me create our first data set and I will say form data. Description is optional, so I will click on add. So my first data set is ready, right? If I want to create more data set, I can continue in this fashion. As of now, I will go with this form data. And now you can see we have rows and variables, right? So I will click on row and click on add row. Add row, I will say row 1. Row 1, record 1, data 1, whatever name you want to give. So this is my row 1. Now if I want to add variable, I will say, okay, fine. Now add variable in row 1. The first variable which I will use is, let's say, first name. See guys, I will create exactly same variable. So if I'm writing here, let's say some other variable name, make sure it is matching with the data set. So I'm creating a first name variable and value I will give, let's say Mukesh. So this row have one variable, first name, and the value is Mukesh. I will create another variable called email. Let me give email Mukesh underscore Otwani, some random email. So my first row have 2 records. Okay, sorry, my first row have 2 variables, first name Mukesh, and email is this. Now if I want, I can create multiple rows. As I mentioned, number of rows will become number of tests, right? So I've used two variables. One is first name and email. So let me create one more row and let's give us row 2. Now notice here automatically it has taken the variable from my previous row because obviously all the rows will be identical, right? So it says for the second row, what values you want to have. Maybe I will use Mahesh and I will say Mahesh underscore email, some random email. Yes. So this has become my second row. Like this, I can create multiple rows. I will stick to 2 as of now because eventually I will show you with CSV file. Now, once you're done, come back here. Now, the moment I click on add and run, now see what happens. It executed and now you can see here it says variable first name was not set prior to enter stored. Obviously because we have not linked the data, right? So now if you see here, we have this option called link data set. So the moment I click on link data set, it identified the data set that we created just now, right? Form data. We created two variables and two groups, basically two rows. So I will say link. You will get this success message, test case linked to the data set. Now click on close. And this time you click on retest. So it will take few seconds and now you can see a new section got added called dataset rows, right? So let it refresh and it will show you how many rows it will take while running your test. So it is taking row 1 now. And basically then it will take row 2. So once row 1 is done, it says green and row 2 also got executed. Now if you want to quickly check, row 1 we have used this test data, right? Mukesh underscore Otwani 1234. So that data it has taken. And if I go with row 2, for row 2 it has taken Mahesh underscore email something @gmail.com. And for both the rows you can see we got a new user. For row 1 also, if you see this verification. Correct? So that's how you can use data set. Now I will show you data set. Let's say you have a huge data and you don't want to add this one by one. You can create your CSV file, add all the data, and you can link that CSV file to this. So what I have done here, I already have created one CSV file, which is data.csv, and I will show you how I create it. So basically we created two variables, right? First name and email. These are the two variables we have added in our test case. So while creating CSV, make sure you use the same variable name. And since that's a CSV comma separated value, you have to put comma. So variable 1 comma variable 2. Now you can continue with your rows. So my first row have Amit comma Amit1 @example.in. These are some dummy emails. Again, second row, third row, fourth, and so on. And these are the two variables I'm passing. So you can create your CSV, just save this as .csv file and we're good to go. Now, how do we use this? Because right now we have just linked form data, right? How to take CSV? Very straightforward. Again, go back to test data, go to data set, and let's create a new data set. I will click on add. Again, name is mandatory, so I will say CSV data. Description is optional, so click on add. Now go to rows again. Instead of creating rows manually, variables manually, you can upload a CSV file. So I will click on upload CSV. Click on browser computer, select the CSV file and click on continue to filtering. Now it has taken all the rows. Right now it is showing only 4 and but the total number of rows is 10. So it says, do you want to use all the columns or selected? Now in case if you have multiple columns, let's say 10, 20, you want to use only 10, you can select by selecting these checkboxes. Since I have only 2 columns, I will click on use all columns and continue. Now it is saying assign imported variables and I will say continue to preview and import now. So now see here, this is exactly how we created, right? We created row and variables. So it has imported all the rows. So now we have total 10 rows. In case if you don't want particular row, you can delete it. But right now I need all. Now, how do I mention that use CSV data, not form data? So you can see this right now, it is already linked. So I will click on form data and it says right now form data is linked. This time I want to go with a new data set called CSV data. So I will click on link. The previous one got unlinked automatically. Now click on close and quickly verify the right data set is selected. This time I will click on retest again. Now it will take all the rows and it will continue. So ideally this will run 10 times because we have total 10 rows. So it is in progress right now. And yes. So you can see it has taken all the rows, right? So it will start with Amit and it will continue till this particular email. So first one is done, second is done. See how fast it is running our test. Within few seconds, it's running with different data set. So let it finish. In the meanwhile, we'll go with the first record. It took amit1@example.com. We'll go with maybe this one, Karthik one. And yeah, this time it took Karthik1@example.in. And it has executed with all. So we'll quickly check with the last one. Yeah. So same test executed 10 times because we have imported CSV. So that's how you can execute your test multiple times with different data set using either create the form data manually or using CSV file. So very interesting feature. Please give a try. In case if you face any issue, let me know. And those who are completely new, please create your account. In the description, I will be giving you one link. So if you go through that link, you will be getting additional 15% off if you go with the paid plans. And if you want to do any POC, if you want to check whether TestRigor will fit into your requirement, please schedule a demo with them. So you can click on request a demo. You can schedule demo based on a requirement. The team will connect with you, understand your requirement, and you can present your POC to your management. So we'll be coming with more videos in the upcoming days, and please watch this series as well in case if you want to go with API automation, mobile automation. Yeah. So that's all about this video. Thank you so much. In case any questions, let me know in the comment section. And those who are new to this channel, make sure you subscribe this channel so that you don't miss any important updates. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Till then, bye bye. Take care.